real quick video about straps. So there's been a few questions about how to thread some strapping for armor pieces. So I'm going to give you a very brief tutorial on how to do that. So there's a couple things you're going to want. You're going to want your nylon webbing of whatever size you choose. This one here is 1.5 inches. You're going to want a buckle, a side release buckle, metal or plastic that corresponds to those. And I like to put in what they call a tri-glide. It just helps retain the strap a little easier. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take your strapping and your tri-glide and feed that through this bottom end here. As you can see, the top has ridges on it. That's to help lock the strap in place. So just kind of feed that through and then feed it back down the other side. So this is what we should end up with. Now, when you go to sew this, our tri-glide will be sewn like this. So there's a gap there. So you'd take this and you'd sew this piece right here. We're not going to do that for this video, just for time's sake. You're then going to take your male end of your buckle and you're going to feed it from below up through the inner slot here. So it looks something like this. We're then going to go back in the other side. Same thing, has ridges up top. That's going to lock things in. Pull it tight. Now this bottom piece should be sewn like that, which means this top piece is going back through the same holes we just came through and back down the other side of the tri-glide. It's a lot easier when you sew them in place. Essentially, that'll come down and look like this. That allows you to have an adjustable buckle. Okay, I don't really have time to show you sewing straps, but I do have time to give you some examples of straps I have already sewn. So we're going to have a look at a mixture of different techniques here, including some with tri-glides and some without, and a mix of 1 and 1.5 inch straps. So let's start on this one. As you can see, there is no tri-glide on this strap. I did it this way because this is just an extra support for my shin. The main strap is down here and the knee helps hold it up. This one is just to keep it from rotating and to keep it tighter against my leg. So for easy adjustability, I went without a tri-glide. Now when you're doing that, you have to fold your ends of your strap over and sew through it. Make sure you always melt the ends of your nylon webbing, or else it will fray and eventually unravel, causing a bit of a nightmare down the road. So this is an easy one. Very basic. Anybody can do this one. This is the female end of the same. These are always just fixed on my armor. I don't bother with adjustable female end of the buckle. Same thing, you want to do the zigzag stitch on your machine. Let me zoom in. So you can see there's a zigzag here. Ideally, you'd use some thicker thread as well. Now, on my other pieces of armor, like the chest plate, I do have thicker thread. It just helps it not pull through the webbing as easily. But you want to make sure that you don't just do a straight line across. The zigzag is significantly stronger. Now we're going to go up to the 1 inch strap that I've used on my knee. This one does include a tri-glide. It also has an adjustable buckle on top, but I'm not using it as such. So the tri-glide, like I said the other time on the other video, you sew that little tail end to the first strap. That just enables it to work properly, and the adjustability is all in the tri-glide. So you just pull or push, and then you adjust it up here. Now on this one, down here, the way it attaches to my armor is a little bit different. If I had my time back, I would have glued it with E6000 just through the slot, like pretty much everybody else does, but I didn't really know what I was doing when I did this one. So we're going to zoom and enhance. All of my strapping on my legs was done by hand. So you can't really see the thread because it's a very dark navy blue, but that's all hand sewn. So you don't actually need a machine for any of this, but it just makes it significantly more easy. Here's an overview of my thigh armor and how it attaches to a battle belt. I'm going to leave the other two pieces that attach it to the leg out because it's identical as every other piece of strapping I've already showed you. But the interesting thing is this buckle here and how it attaches. So I have E6000, a piece of nylon webbing, to the inside of my thigh armor with a female buckle piece on the end of it. This is purely to hold most of the weight of my thigh plate. Everything else is just keeping it against the leg. So as you can see, it's all machine sewn over here. And this piece is just kind of a little bit loose for adjustability. So here is how it will attach to my armor. So I just kind of threw this together real quick. I basically made a belt loop that slides over my battle belt and has the male end of the buckle on the other end. I did this by just eyeballing it. I didn't even measure anything. So it's all thing. It's a great example of what can happen if you do not melt your nylon webbing ends. There's an even worse example on the other side. So I'll zoom and enhance here. See how that's all fraying? You really want to avoid that because this is going to eventually unravel and become unusable. And you would just take a lighter, or what I did for most of the other pieces, I used my soldering iron that I use for plastic welding because nylon is just plastic. So it melts very, very well with a soldering iron tip. On the other side, here's the example of what can happen when you really let it go. This is pretty bad. So I'm going to have to melt that, but I'm getting a new belt anyway. So that's just a quick overview of how you can attach your thigh armor to your belt.